behind camera.
She pressed the button.
No, I pressed the button.
Jasmine, can you turn the camera for us ever so slightly?
Yeah, it's, I kind of have to lean in.
I'm already spilling myself in. Sorry guys, bye.
Come on, bye.
Squeeze on in.
Thank you.
That's staying in the cut.
We watched Black Panther.
But a couple things before we get started. First off, Muha and Ron wanted to be here. Ron called it last minute because he apparently has auditions tomorrow and he wasn't feeling well, so he took it off. Muha just didn't answer his phone.
Yeah,
so I don't know what's going on with him.
He's AWOL and we miss him, and I was really looking forward to him being here so I could be entertained by him calling you racist.
I have no context of who Muha is, but I was looking
for that calls me a racist.
I was looking forward to you being called a racist.
Sadly, there will be no racist.
You're the guy that doesn't.
I take that back.
You're the guy that doesn't like Chinese food, so there has to be a racial component to that.
I just don't like Chinese food.
You don't like Chinese food?
I don't. Why is it such a big deal?
And it's caught on camera now.
Because Chinese food is amazing.
And my step-parents are Taiwanese.
This is not about Chinese food. Anyway, so before I really get into
I'm doing my best Muha impression. I haven't met the man yet.
And also by keeping up the tradition by constantly interrupting me. Anyway, so I did promise I would do this before we get started. So I do want to give a shout out to a longtime supporter of the channel, Mr. Hollywood, and something else I'm going to start doing from now on too is I want to start giving shout outs to small YouTubers who people I like. So if you want to get shout out on the show, give me a comment, make a request, something like that. If I like what you do, if you're nice, and quite frankly, if you're polite, I will give you a shout out on the show. First off, is Mr. Hollywood. Mr. Hollywood's been a supporter of us for a long, long time.
Thank you, Mr. Hollywood.
He pretty does the same kind of things we do, and except just he's a little more goofier about it than I am. He does trailer reactions, movie reviews, all that stuff. He's an up-and-comer just like us. Really nice guy, talked to him quite a bit, so go check him out, Mr. Hollywood. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. Go check him out, support your local businesses, support your local small YouTube channels.
Yes.
And on that note, let's get into Black Panther.
And to talk about it, we have 2 white boys, a Jewish woman, and an Asian
person. An Asian person, Sarah.
It's okay, I don't understand the Jew to understand.
We're off to a great start.
She just orders my food on the Sabbath.
And somehow I'm the one that's going to be called a racist over the course of this review.
On Xmas Day, I had latkes for breakfast and went out for Chinese food. That's Jewish Christmas.
So, Sarah, that's like saying oh, I'm not racist, my best friend is black.
Just like everyone else is black.
Panther.
That's like the moral of the story. So, let's, what did you guys think about
my favorite movie is Birth of a Nation. The Birth of a Nation!
Oh, God! The actual KKK movie?
There's 2 different movies. One is called Birth of a Nation, that's the KKK film, and there's The Birth of the Nation. Yeah, it wasn't a very good movie.
Well, no, I mean, it's just why would you associate yourself that closely to the KKK movie?
Because it was about slavery.
And they wanted to take it back.
The Nat Turner slave.
That's fair. Because
it wasn't a very good movie to begin with, so it didn't really take it back.
Yeah. God, the movie sucked.
So,
but we're here to talk about a much better movie than that.
My God, it's amazing how quickly we got into racist tangents. Alright, so let's go around the table, give our general thoughts. Sarah, you start, let's go this way.
I liked it. It was fun. Seemed like, when you boil it down, a small story, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the production design and the color scheme and direction, and it was a lot of fun.
Cool.
Howard.
Hi, I'm Howard, and I watch movies.
Hi, Howard.
Yeah, it's an AA meeting. So, as far as Black Panther is concerned, I was really in love with the aesthetic of the movie. There was some CGI awkwardness with the suits, but
yeah.
it's whatever. Princess Leia flies through space, right?
Don't get the Star Wars people on us too.
I'm trying to get likes.
Or dislikes.
Hey, reaction. There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yes, there is.
Logan Paul. Anyway, as far as the story structure goes, it was a little slow doing all the exposition, but it was a lot to cover about Wakanda.
I was okay with the exposition price. We'll get to that.
It's my thoughts. I felt like the exposition.
Say you like Superman. Just say.
No.
Say you like Batman vs Superman. Just do it.
Batman versus Superman. White man shutting up the Asian man's opinion. Racist.
No, wait, you weren't saying like Batman vs Superman. You're saying like Batman or Superman Returns.
Anyway, as far as I felt the acting was pretty good.
I quote that name redacted.
The choreography was great, and I'm just gonna finish up my thought before I'm more rudely interrupted. Yeah. All right. So yeah.
So my thought. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Fuck off. I know where you live.
Yeah, you're right next door, asshole. I hear you snoring every goddamn night.
That's not me.
That is you.
All right.
You can't even hide that. Cliff goes to bed way later than you.
That's a dog.
Bullshit.
That's yours?
No, dog shit.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, it's just I felt the exposition was a little long, and then once it picked up, it was fine. And then, like, Michael B. Jordan's acting, I felt was, like, more miss for me than hit, but that's just my opinion. Otherwise, his character itself, there was a lot of depth there, but it's just Michael B. Jordan, I didn't buy it.
I disagree, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, that's my opinion, though.
I know. I'm responding to your opinion, Grant.
I liked it a lot. I did also have some issues with kind of like, it felt a little bit too, like, I wouldn't say too, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's like, within the first half, it did feel a little more marvelly than I anticipated, because everyone said this is such a big, such a big difference.
I mean, it's still got to fit in the world, though.
Yeah, it does. It makes sense. So.
Oh, and Martin Freeman.
Yeah.
Yeah. It like his role, I was just sort of like,
Why?
He was still fine with it.
I'm
sure.
I get, like, in the grand scheme of things, it's probably the most unnecessary.
It's like,
I was fine with
what
it.
does character really accomplish?
He flew a plane.
No, he white-splaned.
Token white boy?
No, that was the whole point. So he could feel what it's like to get racially shut out.
You could actually probably make an argument for that. Anyway, continue, Grant.
But I did enjoy the movie a lot. It was a lot of fun. Great dialogue. I love the political subtext underneath it. The idea of, the politics, the ideas of race relations, the idea of isolationism versus, multinationalism, those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very layered and nuanced. Well, not always entirely nuanced, but sometimes you kind of need that kick to the face.
It's pretty deliberate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, it was done organically.
Yeah.
So like I said, my main issues was some of the CG was pretty iffy. And unfortunately, that kind of robbed some of the impact of the fight scenes, especially when you look at, like, Civil War, for example, where you actually did see people trying to punch the crap out of each other, and then you see 2 CGI Black Panthers.
I was still okay with it. Like, I've seen worse. I can safely say.
Justice League!
I do kind of feel like that out of the
Beowulf.
MCU films, this is
I actually like Beowulf. Like one of the 5
one
that
of
do.
the
I'm sorry, we're not gonna.
this is one of the MCU films that can be watched as a little bit more of a standalone.
Yeah, you can definitely watch this without having seen Civil War.
Yes.
The ending might not quite make or one of the
Stingers.
there's a certain stinger that might not make sense.
It's
You
exactly.
still honestly don't really need to like. He was like, oh, who's that guy? And then just find out in the next one.
It's called Google or Bing.
That's honestly how most comic book continuities work these days, anyway.
I think I like though is the fact that Killmonger has been the first fully fleshed out villain in the longest freaking time since Loki.
Not including the Netflix shows, but yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, sorry, in the movies.
Yeah, I'd agree with
Yeah,
that.
because I agree. Kingpin's still probably one of my favorite villains.
Purple
Kilgrave.
Man. Kilgrave, yeah, Purple Man, Kilgrave.
Yeah, he was great. He was another case of like, first half I didn't know what I thought, like he was creepy but it was there. Then when I got like the reveal, like the more in depth, it's like, oh dear, now I fear this guy.
Yep.
Kilgrave's one of those villains that to this day, it's like I've seen a lot. It's like, oh, that's an evil character. That was like, no, that guy's fucking evil. Kill him.
Exactly.
That was Kilgrave, and
Because he was like, it's like he was worse than an evil guy. He was a sociopath.
oh yeah,
Yes.
But I like the. That being said, that was one of the main issues I think for me was the fact that Kilgrave wasn't that prominent in the first half of the movie. I think once.
Wait, are you talking about Kilgrave or Kill?
You mean Killmonger.
Killmonger, sorry. Killmonger.
Just say Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, no, Killmonger. The fact that he wasn't as prevalent in the first half as I hoped he'd be.
I was fine with that.
Yeah. Because
You gotta build him up.
I know, but the fact is, it felt like they just kind of threw him in there, then they kind of sidestepped, then they brought him back.
No.
I didn't get that. I don't agree with
You know
that.
who I felt was kind of unnecessary?
Are we gonna do your thoughts or do my thoughts? now?
Claw. Or is it Klaus?
I loved Andy Serkis. You shut the fuck up.
Also, it wasn't an S, it was an E.
Is it? Okay.
Ulysses Claw. Loved him. You shut your
Yeah,
face.
he was fun. I might it
That was fun.
Because he is a fucking sociopath. He's on a fucking blast.
Alright.
Yes, and
What were your thoughts, Michael?
Well, now that you ask,
Racist! So, no one said it in 5 minutes.
moving on.
Slave owner.
No, he's a colonizer.
That's referential.
Bitch, if I'm a colonizer, you're my first mate. Anyway, so my thoughts on the movie.
That was sexual. Sorry. You call him your first mate.
Sailor, dumbass!
And what did we call people on boats?
Are you gonna let me talk? Or
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. You're whatever. Moving on. So, my thoughts on the movie are, I love this film. I thought it was great. Like, I don't really get, I can kind of see where you're going with the Killmonger thing, but it didn't really bother me all that much. I thought Michael B. Jordan was great.
Oh, no, he was
it's
fantastic.
very interesting to see him play a villainous role.
And a fleshed out one at that.
Yeah, I thought the characters were great. I loved being in this world. I loved exploring it. I loved kind of learning more about it. So I was perfectly fine with the exposition stuff.
Yeah.
None of that bothered me.
I was fine with it too, it's just, I wanted more of him. I wanted him to be more prevalent throughout.
I think he served exactly what he needed to do in the movie. I'm sure there probably is plenty on the coloring for of him. I would not be surprised to find out. I love, like, the characters are great. The writing was great. I love that this is the first Marvel movie I've seen that I felt like was actually trying to say something.
Yeah.
And it
Yes.
ties into a larger point of, and this is something I called this. Nobody believed me, but I called this. When Jessica Jones came out, I was almost like, okay, for all the people saying like superhero fatigue, your entire superheroes are going to fade away like the Western, like, bullshit, here's why. Jessica Jones, so we're at the point with superhero creations where we're not just doing superhero shit anymore, we can actually use them to say something, we can use them to make a point. And that's where this is going to continue. And this movie proves that I was right.
Yeah, the fact that Black Panther needed that political commentary.
It absolutely needed that political commentary, and it has relatable characters. You get where everyone's coming from.
Yeah. Everyone has a part.
Yeah, everyone does have a part, and the acting
Except for Martin Freeman.
he was fine. He was the outsider
stopped-
they explained shit to. That's
He
what it was.
stopped the cargo ships.
I mean, like,
I thought he was charming.
I like Martin Freeman, so
I was like initially confused by his American accent. I was like, wait, isn't that Martin Freeman? Why is he not British?
I actually didn't know that he was British, so it was
Have you not? I went to The
convincing.
Hobbit.
I watched Sherlock.
Have you not? Oh, great. I haven't seen Sherlock.
Not
Or The Hobbit?
No.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Fair enough.
Or any of the Cornetto trilogy.
I've seen all of the Cornetto.
He's in The World's End.
Oh
And he's in the opening of Hot Fuzz.
That's right. Yep.
yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And he's part of Janine's group.
Let's
in
just go through his IMDb.
Scroll.
British, man.
Anywho, so because and there's the thing that whenever I see the trailer for this, I love all of Marvel movies, most of them anyway, and I'm kind of saying like, okay, that looks really fun, looks really creative, looks very good. Like Black Panther's first trailer I saw was like, that looks fucking cool.
You know what needs to happen now?
what?
Doctor Strange now needs to meet up with Agent Cross with Martin Freeman's character, and then be like, have we met?
I would not be surprised that joke is Infinity War or Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, that'll probably be an Infinity War.
Probably.
It's probably an Infinity War joke.
Calling
it now.
I still want the facial hair bros joke for the comics to make into the Infinity Wars.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that one, Grant?
It's
just where like Iron Man just goes like closes his eyes like facial hair bros.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Doctor Strange looks at it and goes, Facial hair growth. I hate you.
No, I have seen that one.
But
I
anyway.
haven't too. It's literally right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't see that, but look it up.
And then later it's like
Yeah, I've seen
the
that.
follow up.
Anyway, look it up. So anyway, I love the nods to the comics. I mean, like I can't say I'm a huge Black Panther fan. Like the most I know of him is from the Avengers TV show that came out like 10 years ago, which is like he was fucking great in that show. But like I have a huge amount of respect for the character, and of course he's a very big deal in the comics.
And
the fact he's like one of the smallest, more powerful men in the DCU when all is said and done.
The last I heard.
You mean the MCU?
Yeah. Sorry.
MC. Yeah. So the last I heard of what happened to Black Panther in the comics was
Or the comic universe too.
Yeah, the comic universe is that he married Storm, and that was
Yeah, he married Storm. That was the thing that happened.
and that was the last I heard.
Okay.
I don't know if they got divorced.
No, like their marriage gets annulled at one point. It's stupid.
Really?
Yeah,
That's so dumb.
it was dumb. It was part of the Avengers vs X-Men storyline. It wasn't very
Yeah.
good.
A lot of people I remember there's some people I know that was like, just why, why Black Panther and Storm to begin with. I felt like that was just kind of one of those things they did just cause.
I mean, I can kind of see it. You know,
Strong
technically in the
Strong
comics, Storm was kind of more of like it's considered like an African goddess before she joined the X-Men.
Well,
So-
yeah, but strong, powerful, and electrical stimulation of
Yeah.
the prostate.
I don't need to in my head. Chadwick Boseman, no. But no, like again, I think this is pushed. I love this movie for its ambition. I love it for what it tried to do. I love it for the world it builds.
Yes.
I love the world.
Me
The
too.
world is gorgeous
The-
and it's fully realized. You believe this world beginning to end.
By the way,
I feel
there
like the setting is one of the best characters.
It is. I agree.
By the way, there was exactly one music joke that happened in the film that I fucking lost it, and
What's
it's
it?
basically right when they fly into Wakanda, and I was like, and they're playing
The Lion King.
the Lion King motif, and then I'm about to lean over to Grant and be like, oh my god, all they need now are just animals going through the planes, and then immediately the animals started going through the planes, and I just fucking lost it. And then I just leaned over, it's so cool life, and it's fine. It's a Disney movie now. They can totally get away with it.
But yeah, let's talk about Killmonger for a second, because I'm really sad Ron's not here for this, because I've been wanting to say this to him for a good long while.
You could say it first.
I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna find this in the video. I'm gonna send him the timestamp for when this occurs, so you can still see it. But ha! I told you, you son of a bitch! You did not believe me. You said Michael B. Jordan would suck. I was right. Ha!
Ron doesn't like Michael B. Jordan.
He said like, well,
or-
the Fan Forstic movie. He's like, that is not a fair comparison
Oh,
because
no.
nobody came out of that movie
Yeah.
clean.
Have you watched the last two movies Ryan Coogler directed him in?
I mean, so like, well, that was like a niche movie. He's like, I don't know if you can pull it off here. So I was right. So like, ha! I was right. Suck it. Anyway. Moving on. So
That was
Yeah,
pretty
this-
a niche movie. That was a
I,
Rocky sequel spin-off.
As far as
to be fair, like that was kind of a position he was comfortable in, right?
As far as Killmonger goes, I really liked his motivation and everything. I just didn't like Michael B. Jordan, and that's just how I felt about it. I can be wrong. Everyone
are wrong.
Everyone can be like, this guy is just objectively wrong. Michael B. Jordan is the greatest Marvel Cinematic Universe villain since Loki or whatever.
I would say Tom Hiddleston's still better.
I agree.
But like,
But
no,
I mean, I can just say that there was just something I just didn't buy it.
You say you just didn't
And-
like the way he portrayed it.
There are similarities in his character arc or motivation and Loki's. There.
like I would argue that Michael B. Jordan, whenever he's on screen, definitely commands your attention.
Oh, yes.
Which I really liked. I thought that really played to the character. I also like that. What's fascinating about the character of Killmonger, at least to me, is the fact that they definitely said. First of all, I love that it's Oakland. That the
Because that is Ryan Coogler's hometown.
yeah, and it shows. That basically the story of Killmonger, and I'm getting into spoiler territory here.
Are we just going right into it?
I mean, like at this point, you've probably
We-
already seen the movie.
If you are watching this and you haven't already seen the movie, pause it, see the movie, and come back. We all recommend it.
Yeah. So basically, is that T'Chaka T'Challa's father was original was it Black Panther before him?
Daddy Panther.
Daddy Panther. Yeah, sure.
Daddy Panther went on over to Uncle Panther and said,
Panther.
"Hey, you fucking up with Wakanda?" And he's like, "Nah, man, I wasn't." And then he's like, "Yo, I'm the spy to spy on you, Uncle Panther, and you have been fucking up with Wakanda."
And by the way, it's just me as Forrest Whitaker from the new Sean Bean.
Oh
I think so.
No,
Yeah.
he didn't die in that one boxing movie.
Which one?
The one that we saw.
Oh yeah! AKA Jake Gyllenhaal just gets shit
Oh
on.
yeah.
Southpaw.
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 Yeah.
And then, like he died in like the last King of Scotland, didn't he?
No, he got arrested. He got arrested.
He died eventually.
He's a black man
Rogue
in
One.
jail. He's
Rogue One,
totally-
yeah.
Also, God. Also, the funny thing is I didn't realize till afterwards is that Denzel Whitaker played the younger version of him.
Huh.
It's like, ah.
It's funny. Anyway, Daddy Panther kills Uncle Panther and then leaves his like 5-year-old nephew behind. And he grows up to become Michael B.
B.
Jordan, Killmonger. And what's
And
fascinating
he is a well-adjusted human being, considering.
asterisk.
I mean, like, he, instead of, like, taking it out on everybody else, okay, that's not true, he takes it out on a lot of people. It's all over
I was
his
gonna
body.
say he has the whole Fox thing.
But he does have an ultimate goal of fucking over an entire country. Okay, so maybe he's not that well-adjusted.
Let's really break down his character motivation though. And this is what I thought was fascinating to me. Was the fact that, of course, he has the knowledge of being in, quite frankly, living in Oakland, which does not have the best reputation in the world. It's kind of up there with Stockton.
That's where I got held up.
Yeah, see, exactly.
There's a story behind that I do not know.
I was on a film set and we got robbed.
Yikes.
Thankfully, they only took the camera, and considering they're quite nice, they were quiet and they just took the camera and ran off.
Okay.
Noted. Anyway, moving on. So that's Oakland. So he comes to this place where people of his race are just systematically put down. That's the way the system is designed. Unfortunately, it's very common, especially in Oakland. But he also comes from a place of royalty, and he knows he's from a place of royalty where black people can thrive and are like more advanced than anyone else in the world. It's a place where theoretically they can go, like a black person can go and succeed and mesh anywhere they want.
However, he's also pissed that they do not use that power to help.
Exactly, and that's what I was getting to. It's like here's the funny thing. What's fascinating is that Killmonger is also in a place where, if circumstances were a little bit different, he could have been that person to help.
Yes.
And he's not. And I think that kind of leads into what he thinks he's doing what's best for the people, but because he's been outcast of the people he's supposed to belong with, that adds an extra layer of anger to what he's actually doing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Also, the fact that he thinks he's trying to change things in a way that has never worked. And he is a person
kind of
that...
like a Malcolm X approach.
No, actually, no. The fact that he's doing the American replace and destabilize approach. The
Right.
fact that he has done this exact thing, and yet he of all people should realize that this doesn't work. I mean, you look at Afghanistan, you look at Iraq, you look at Iran, it didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And yet he is going to do this on a global scale.
But it's like, as Martin Freeman points out, it's like it's what he knows. It's what he knows to do.
It's what he was trained for.
Yeah, it's what
As he white-splained.
To be fair, he was the only person that would legitimately have that information.
Yes.
No, they totally had that information. They're Wakanda. You think Wakanda
But he's
can't?
like- isn't he
you
like-
think Wakanda can't hack into the puny CIA server?
But is he like in the person that like, wasn't he kind of like involved in like with him personally at some point or something?
I'm not sure it was personally, but he said he was, in essence, a Black Ops operative.
He's a Black Ops operative, and then he's a CIA, so you would know that he exists.
Well, they already
Because
had
he's CIA.
they already had all his information. They showed that earlier, but he adds extra
Because
context.
and they didn't know that. And to be fair, they could have found that out with their own stuff. But to be fair, he knew that before they did.
Although to be fair, Wakanda didn't know about
Him being a royalty.
That's what I just said.
nephew Panther.
Yeah, nephew Panther. All right.
Who becomes usurper Panther.
Yeah, and also
Michael B. Panther.
and it also shows that Marvel and Disney are learning. Like this is also like on top of just being a movie that has a lot of ambition going for it.
Yes.
It also shows that Disney and Marvel are learning from the complaints that they
Yeah.
put in their movies too, which I really appreciate. For one, the drama is really good in this movie. And it's not immediately outplayed by a joke.
Yeah.
And it's believable.
It's believable. No, like, especially that scene when he goes into...
There was one time with the Man-Ape.
One fucking time, dude. Really? Are you gonna be that nitpicky about it?
Yes, no.
That was another thing that impressed me.
M'Baku is done very, very well, and I was really worried.
Yeah, because it's like...
Because I've seen what he looks like in the comic, and it would not work.
it's like that, which kind of shows like, man, they really could have done...
It could have been so much worse.
They could have done better with Iron Fist and Doctor Strange, although Doctor Strange, I know they were just being greedy bastards.
Doctor Strange, yeah, that was that was more political than whitewashing, really.
Yeah.
Well, whitewashing because of political reasons.
Yeah. It was whitewashing because of financial political reasons.
Yeah, because China doesn't like Tibet. But anywho, so no, because M'Baku, also known as Man-Ape in the comics, is in this movie, and in the movie he's just like a giant man in an ape suit. It's just his face out.
Yeah.
And
he's got a whole gorilla-based city in the mountains, but gorillas don't hang out in the mountains. But whatever.
Well,
mountain gorillas.
It's a tribal thing. They explain in this movie as a tribal thing. In the books, it is not a tribal thing. He just part man, part ape.
Yeah, he's just
and
a character.
It looks pretty bad.
Is that? Yeah.
It is not one of those designs that's held up pretty well.
It's like a half gorilla Grodd kind of thing.
It's like, imagine Gorilla Grodd with white fur and an African American face.
Okay.
Okay.
And that is the comic book.
This is a much better
Yes.
approach.
Yeah. Exactly.
Also,
exactly.
I still laugh because in the comics he's a villain. Here he's...
I mean, he still starts out as a villain.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I see him as an antagonist, not a villain.
I feel like at the very beginning of the movie with Gorilla Panther Man, M'Baku.
Yeah.
I felt like his motivation was still in the best interest of Wakanda, because he and you know, like, those are genuine concerns for someone under that's being ruled under, and it's just like, you know, these guys have been in the arms of the king, and just like, reaping the benefits of being united, and we've been on the outside, and we see how it looks, and these are genuine concerns. Let's fight about it. With
Honestly,
spears and a waterfall.
If this is how actual politics was decided, I'd actually be a lot more okay with politics.
Me too.
Fight to the death, go!
Well, unfortunately, every time someone's been trying to do trial by combat now, it gets shut down. I'm not kidding you. Some people have
The
actually
gun
tried
control
to-
debate would
Of
be
course,
over.
someone's like, I thought Game of Thrones, this works out great.
Actually, that is what started it.
Son of a bitch.
But also, M'Baku got some of the funniest moments in the movie.
He did. Well, that and Andy Serkis, who I'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
But like,
You will not speak, or we will feed you to my children. Just kidding, we're vegetarian.
Seriously, there's no meat up in those mountains. Let's be real.
I was really impressed with the way that they managed to
fishermen.
incorporate the ape imagery of the character without it being horribly racist.
Yeah.
They just turned into a tribal thing, which I thought was very, very clever. With like the paint, like the war paint and the mask, and all stuff.
it just fits thematically.
Exactly, it fits thematically, and also it's an homage to the character in the comics. Like, okay, that's a very, very clever approach.
Very tasteful.
And I was really glad they I was again really worried about how they were going to do this. They did it. It was really smart. It was really clever how they did that.
If you want to see something horrifically offensive, we can watch Terraformers.
I'll pass then.
Oh, that is not offensive. That's people blowing smoke out their asses.
Terraformers? The cockroach people?
Yes, and you.
We can talk about this. Actually, I'm very interested now. I would love to talk to you about that.
Okay, you should talk to my other black friends who just think people are being stupid about it.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on from cockroach people, apparently.
I will show you an image. We'll talk about it.
I don't have time.
Anyway.
Back to the topic at hand. So, I thought that was very clever. I'm not going to say the movie's perfect. I did have some issues, and I will talk about that. One thing I did notice is when the M'Baku fight was happening, I feel like I'm watching the climax to a different movie.
Yeah.
Because he even has I am the king of Wakanda, and it's kind of like, I feel like this was built up in a whole other hour and a half that I missed.
I felt like it was necessary to portray that scene so that...
No, it was. I'm saying in a different movie
So that
would
when
have
Michael
been
B.
ending.
Panther shows up, it's like, yeah, let's do the fight. So it's not like they're just introducing a bullshit ritual out of thin air.
True. Yeah, this is very
Foreshadowing.
true.
However, was the time spent on it a little longer than necessary?
I thought it was fine.
For me, I think what made it seem longer than necessary is the fact that, at least for the first couple of action scenes, the action felt a little sluggish.
I liked the action in the sequence.
Yeah.
I thought it was better than the first Black Panther action
To be
sequence.
fair, they are fighting in basically shorts in water, and you know how difficult it is to move in water.
Then how did Michael B. Jordan and Black Panther move so much quicker in their fight? When they're at the waterfall.
Plot armor.
But that's the point. It's like
Plot armor plus 2 to dex.
It's like
Nice.
it's like that. No, they both got -2. It's like that and the casino.
Well, technically, Black Panthers work on disadvantage.
Yeah. That and like the first, not the first fight, the casino scene. I've had the exact same issue where it felt like everyone was moving slower than they should have. Like you could actively,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, you could actively see people waiting to run in to get smacked in the face by the spear.
I don't know. I didn't get that vibe personally. Then again, I also thought the movie had a weird angle.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, the fact that I worked on action shorts as well.
I could
where-
kind
that
of
didn't
see.
bother me.
I could kind of see what Grant was going for, but the way I interpreted it was like this guy's like trying really hard not to get face smashed via spear.
That's a perfectly valid
He was
reason.
like,
I mean, like, you can point at any action movie and see that shit.
However,
Even John Wick 1 and 2 was guilty of this.
yeah, but like just there was that and the car chase.
The car chase was amazing. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
was fine. That's what I was gonna say.
although it was weird how they got hit with the
Oh shit!
explosive.
5 minutes racist.
That being said, though, I was a little weirded out by the whole fact that I forgot the bodyguard and the love interest name.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Lupita Nyong'o and
Lady Panther.
yeah, how they get blasted by a super gun and all that happens.
Dude, at a certain
No,
point,
it
it
was
was fucking go with
Yeah,
it.
I know.
you
I'm
know?
not saying it
Wait, wasn't
fun.
the car made out of vibranium?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Theirs was. Remember?
Their car was made out of vibranium.
Not the
That's-
one that. No, that was the one that was remote control, wasn't it?
No. The one they remote control was just an Audi, I think.
Yeah, it was the one that they were.
The one that the silver one that they were in, they were shooting it, and then it's like, you idiots! The car is made of vibranium.
Yeah, for me, it was just weird that it's like it gets obliterated. Yet you see someone scooting on their car seat.
Whatever,
down.
it was a joke.
It was funny. Don't get me wrong, but it was just a weird kind of inconsistency after seeing destruction and.
I think the
I
only
think
way
it's
that
being
could have
really
been better
nitpicky.
is like if there was like a
I thought it was an amusing
single
contrast.
ember on her hair, like just like really like finish that, and she's just gonna.
I mean, for a movie that really doesn't have a whole lot of jokes, I was fine with that.
Yeah.
Uh,
So like I said,
It was
I'm not saying it wasn't funny. I'm just saying it was a little weird in that consistency.
I think it's being really nitpicky. It didn't bother me personally. Then again, maybe it's
just
just
a
because
little ember in the hair, you know. Just,
But like, no, I thought that action sequence was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that is the thing. Thankfully, like that was a fun scene. And then, like I said, in terms of like the hand-to-hand combat, I kicked into overdrive once Killmonger got back in.
Man, this movie had a lot of action scenes that.
Not really, actually.
No. There was 2 ritual fights, an actual war,
Yes.
And then the car chase.
the car
And,
chase scene,
And
the heist,
the plane chase.
the plane chase, a little bit of Star Fox action.
But he did not do a barrel roll. 0 stars.
Yeah.
It's true. I have to reduce this rating by at least 5 points now.
Sorry, this is another plot issue that had bugged me.
Okay.
Like I get why they wanted to get more Andy Serkis in there, but why didn't Killmonger just kill him, then bring him to Wakanda?
He was using him?
For what? He didn't really need the money, because
Yeah, wait a minute. That doesn't make
He
sense.
probably just wanted to bring him out in the open, so they were like, "Hey, remember this
yeah,
guy?"
but he already had him in the opening. After that opening scene, he could have killed him in the car, driven to that plane yard, and flew off.
I would argue it's because at that point, like, Wakanda didn't know he was out. He brought him back into the public eye to get more attention to him, and also that Black Panther failed to catch him.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's
Which
true.
was
but-
his
And that was a big reason why his
Oh, that's how he was able to get the
his
support
first
from
official mission as king.
from Carlton.
like.
Yeah, well, how would Killmonger know about that?
He apparently does. He talked to him afterwards.
Bruh, once you're Wakanda, you totally know about
Yeah.
Wakanda news, okay? They have a whole subreddit.
Yeah, either
Say
way.
R Wakanda.
Yeah. So it's like, it's one of those things where, like, I understand, like, that makes sense for the sake of for one part of the plot. It's just,
I mean, some shit you just gotta take on faith.
yeah. It's a matter of, like, it's just a logic issue that
If he was just gonna kill him anyway and then drag his corpse over to Wakanda,
Yeah.
why the heist?
Exactly.
And plus, like,
What was the
and then
point
plus,
of-
like, Killmonger didn't do it, and like, Killmonger's the one that busted him out. So clearly, there's a plan in place for that to begin with.
But what? But okay,
Just
but
to kill him and bring him over to
Because
Wakanda.
at that point, it already proven that Black Panther failed to do the job.
What was the point of like stealing the vibranium then?
To get Andy Serkis out in the open.
He was already in the same vehicle with him.
I'm talking about like
Right.
in the public eye, so
Yeah.
people can actually see him.
Yeah.
Like, so like news can get back to Wakanda that he's out there. Black Panther tries to catch him, fails, and then Killmonger's like, "Oh, your king couldn't do your fucking job, so I did it. There you go. I challenged the king."
And it was also for longtime MCU viewers a fun callback to Ultron. So.
I know. And like I said, that's why I said, like, I'm not complaining about more Andy
Age of Ultron.
Serkis.
Yeah, I was
I'm
just
just-
trying to remember
I'm
like,
just
what's
thinking-
a callback.
Yeah.
is.
I just think, well, because
Andy Serkis' character.
He was the one that gave Ultron the vibranium.
I'm gonna have to watch that movie again.
Yeah. Ultron's the one that took his arm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I think it's just one of those double-edged sword plot moments where it's like,
I don't know, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Man, Disney's really been into amputation.
Well, they did that through all the Phase 2 movies.
Star Wars. Now they have that IP.
Actually, the reason they did it in Phase, like, every movie in Phase 2, someone
Bucky.
loses an arm because they wanted to do an homage to Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
That's an actual thing to confirm this.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah. Because Thor loses it in Thor 2, and then, of course, Winter Soldier, and Guardians of the Galaxy, I believe Groot loses an arm.
Oh no, Groot lost an arm.
I mean, it's not like you say, they all don't all have serious implications. More like at some point somebody lost an arm.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like that again that goes to category. Like,
you're probably right about why he did what he did.
I guess it sounds like as far as evil villain plans goes, it's more explained than egos.
Yes.
And it still makes more logical sense than Zemo, who,
Yeah, you don't talk about overconvoluted plots. Zemo
Yeah.
still got Killmonger beat.
Yes.
and I will totally admit that.
I love
I love to count
Winter
money,
Soldier,
Krista.
but ask
Okay.
me to
I'm sorry, the count of money, Zemo.
Sure.
but ask me to explain Zemo's reasoning, and I wouldn't be able to.
Does the Avengers basically kill his family by dropping an island on
I
him?
think the motivation's not the problem, it's more like the process. Like, I need all these exactly specific things to happen,
Yeah.
but I am not Lex Luthor, I swear to God.
His plans still make more sense than Lex Luthor's.
It did.
Which one?
From what I heard, Ultimate Cut did kind of explain the plot.
No, it does not! No.
Don't start this one.
No,
We don't need the police to show up.
no, it does
A
not!
raving lunatic. Blah! Phone let them out.
That is a case where it's like, if you look me in the eye and said the Ultimate Cut explains how Luke did his plan, I will fucking fight you. I will fight you.
That's
and
why I
you
said from what I've heard. I have
You are
watched
wrong. They are wrong. Whoever said that is fucking
Batman
lying.
versus Superman is a fight.
Wrong!
Oh, I was about ready to get punched.
Sorry.
it. That fucking movie, though.
Let's talk about better things. Black Panther.
Yes, Black Panther is much better.
But no, like I'd say, like so going back to the overall, like I'd say thematics and themes in the movie as well. It's more like I love that again. It does feel like it actually talks about a subject matter. I love that it definitely feels like it's coming from somebody with experience, and it shows that Disney and Marvel are willing to take more risks with their storytelling, and especially somebody that needs to be addressed, especially with a character like Black Panther, whose cultural heritage is so key to the character.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you make like the Luke Cage show, like had to talk about like Black lives in Harlem, or is this in that New York area? Because it's so important, so key to the character
projects
that you can't tell their story without addressing that.
Yeah.
And it was a risk by Marvel because again, if you do it wrong, it can come off horribly. But they took their time, they took their care, and is, in my opinion, probably one of the best Marvel movies so far.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I'd say it's one of the best.
I agree.
Issues I did have with it, though, to be fair, because I know I haven't seen you guys having different opinions, because how dare you. I did have some issues, for one, I felt like the ending wanted to be bigger than they had the budget for. Like the final war fight scene. Did you guys get that impression at all?
No, I thought it was fine.
That was
They had to
Okay.
spend so much money on the CG for the train fight.
I felt like they wanted to be more epic, and I just felt like that didn't really come across as much as it wanted to. I'm not saying it across at all, just not as much as they wanted to.
I felt like that was just it's sort of like the same spirit of fighting your family has. It's like these people that you're fighting, they're your brothers. I mean, it's not exactly like an actual civil war. It's like a really serious disagreement. But
Yeah.
whatever the result is, you just have to
Yeah. 'Cause I think
respect that whoever is the king, right?
Because I think it came with the fact.
Kind of like Gamora and Nebula in Guardians too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for me, I think the impact came more from the fact that they spent their time building up these main central characters, and so while that definitely wasn't the biggest fight, that it felt like it had more implication.
Sure, and that's fair. I think just the way it was set up, the way it was framed, I think if you wanted to be bigger, I think there are just budgetary limitations at that point.
That's understandable. You'd expect more soldiers, especially when you see Infinity War, where you see
Kind of
where you see the entire fucking country.
exactly. So where did everybody else go?
I also thought that was that fight also stood to add depth to Michael B. Panther's character, because that's what he does. He goes in and he fucks up a country and makes them fight amongst each other.
And I like their final confrontation too. Not outside the fight itself. I love when they talk to each other.
That finale was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, and again, I liked how somebody else pointed this out. And I know story-wise it couldn't work, but it would have been so pretty. It's what if the actual fight scene, the final fight scene, was at the place where they have to see the sunset? Can you imagine how gorgeous that would look? Thematically, it would not work, and story-wise, it would be really hard to make an excuse why they'd go there. But man, it would look so pretty.
Trains.
But no,
I'm just serious. Trains. They have them everywhere. There's a chance that one of them might be taking them out to the pasture or whatever. Literally.
But it has to take an elevator to get up there, and
I don't
it was
know,
a mining cart, so it doesn't really count.
I liked Michael B. Jordan's last bit of dialogue, how it was a callback to his
American slavery.
To his upbringing and that part of his heritage.
That idea that he hoped for something better.
Well, it's what it basically just boils down to what his whole character is about, which is for all intents and purposes, I should have had the power and the resources to do something about this, but because of poor circumstances, I can't.
Yeah.
Which in hindsight actually works as a great metaphor for the topic he's talking about just in general.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I like that.
I'm actually curious. How do you guys feel about that actual topic between being isolationist and having the ability to help, but then
not doing it
and choosing to do so?
It's definitely a complicated issue.
I kind of wish they didn't really make the official answer in the end, but at the same time they kind of had to. But I do appreciate that for that time throughout, both sides gave good reasons for what they.
I'm not sure. I don't even know sure they gave a definitive answer so much as T'Challa just said, "This is how I feel about it."
Yeah.
And I actually really like the arc he had, coming to that realization on his own. Because you look at Killmonger, he does have a good point. They should be doing maybe not solving all the problems, but they should be doing something
to help.
And I love that scene when he goes back into Panther heaven.
The ancestral plane.
What I'm calling it Panther heaven. When he kind of just
Pantheon.
nice.
All right.
Good one.
where he kind of confronts his father about like what he did, and the father, to his credit, does not like make excuses to like I didn't like. He doesn't like go evil like a lot of the movies like this would have done. Like I do what was right for Wakanda. So much as like I did this thing. I'm not proud of it, but it's what I did. And the son,
I'm your dad, but and you idolize me, but I'm still human.
pretty much.
Even though I drink magic purple goo.
It's honestly kind of something I came to realize, like something I had to deal with actually very, very recently. In that when you're younger, you kind of like you imagine your parents as kind of like anything except human, and then you get that one moment when you're an adult and like they do something that is a horrible mistake, and then you realize like you see them in a whole different way at that point on. And again, I also love that they let that scene play without doing a joke afterwards.
Yes.
And then there's a lot of scenes in the movie like that, when they just let the scene carry, let the emotions carry.
Mm-hmm.
They let the actors do their thing, and it pays off in a grand way. And I thought all that stuff was great. What was I talking about before up to that point, though? I was going to bring it up. Oh, yeah, the general themes. I was very good.
Oh, but
isolationist versus...
yeah, you never answered my question.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
What did you guys actually think it would be best for Wakanda? Should you think they should continue to be isolated, or should they actually like reveal themselves like very openly like that? I actually feel, considering world history, that isolationism was the correct answer. This is my opinion, by the way.
I disagree.
If we're just talking about what's best for
Wakanda's
interest, I'd be inclined to agree with you, because once they open themselves and
they can't shut the door anymore.
yeah,
But
because
who says that's a bad thing?
it's not for the world at large, but it could have not positive circumstances for Wakanda itself.
Because it's just like once the knowledge of like, and I'm just like bringing this around with like just the Cold War, like once people knew that America had nukes, what was the first thing that happened? Basically, Russia also had nukes. And,
The difference
and it's the same thing with like vibranium now. It's like, you know, like when does the power of the weaponry stop scaling?
Well, like in this case, because Wakanda's the only people that have vibranium, so that kind of limits the resources they can do. They could try to go to war with them, but they just wipe the floor with them.
Yeah, they wouldn't be used to that.
I mean, Wakanda wiped the floor with them when they tried to get in because their technology is 10 years past all of them.
Okay, on a lighter note, did Prince T'Challa gentrify Oakland at the end?
Prince
T'Challa, sorry. Did he gentrify Oakland at the end? I
I
bought that building, and that building.
But to be fair,
He's not making living situations out of it.
yeah, he's not charging.
They're
exorbitant
educational
rent.
centers.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
they were welfare centers.
No, one was an outreach center. The other one was a science division. It was like a science development center.
So it's,
Okay.
it's for teaching purposes.
Okay, fine. It's just a very bold statement to just say I bought that, and that.
Oh, because that's never happened in a Marvel movie before.
That's a good point.
Tony Stark just, I bought all the things.
Literally making it rain.
So did Iron Fist, but to be fair, he also. Well, to be fair, he also.
And then if you marry Storm, then she could be saying, literally making it rain.
Anyway, you had a point.
No, I was just saying Iron Fist did the same thing too.
Yeah, well, that's Iron Fist is more of a you had one fucking job that you actively advertise, and you fail at that one thing you actively advertise.
And you're not even good at the job prior before because there's footage of someone who did it way better.
And he had two gloves.
He had two. Probably could do a foot too. Was working on the other one. Could literally have.
For God's sakes, I'm Iron Skull.
My thought was like, you promised me a fucking dragon, you liars.
Instead, you gave us the narrator from 300, which, to be fair, he was the best part of the series.
I was, sad to say.
Yeah. Anyway.
But, yeah, I highly recommend this movie.
Yes.
Like, it's a perfect, no, like, I do also say I think the love interest is pretty weak.
I liked her, actually.
I thought she was, as a character, she was fine. I just didn't really get their chemistry.
They were ex-lovers, but it almost felt like shoehorned.
Yeah, I agree.
Considering he almost died.
It was just a funny line.
Yeah.
Dude.
I did almost die at the end.
Oh, and one thing about me, I forgot to mention this, is I do feel the movie loses a little steam with the Panther death after T'Challa's out of the movie for a while.
Well, it's
Because,
supposed
like,
to
he
show
wasn't-
you the effects of his loss.
Yeah,
with
I
the
was fine with that.
With the usurping.
Like, I was fine with that. I just didn't find the supporting cast as interesting. So when he was gone, I felt like there was a bit of a charm that was missing.
I felt that it was important. That
And that's just something that just me. I acknowledge
Like,
it.
Okay, well, I just felt
I
like
think-
the void of not having T'Challa there is
Yeah.
massive. There's like the general woman. She's just like, I am loyal to the
Yeah.
throne.
And I love that scene because that's the whole idea.
That's
of,
a
like, what is-
great line.
Yeah.
It is, yes.
Yeah, it's, like, you're gonna
It's
say
shockingly relevant.
Although,
the
I,
idea of what's right versus, you know, do you do what's right for the people or do you do it for the country? That
Yeah.
bullshit thing.
I think Michael B. Jordan was supposed to fill that void left by Chadwick Boseman at that time.
Yeah, you can make that argument.
On that
For-
topic, I also loved his dream sequence.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Michael B. Jordan's like flashback scene. That was fucking great.
that was.
So I had a question. If you're not buried in a Wakandan,
I was wondering that too.
Do you-
I was wondering
No, no.
that too.
half jokingly, if you're not buried as a Wakandan prince, do you end up in a shitty spirit apartment in Oakland?
Well, I think the whole point is it's to like what people expect.
Although
see.
to be fair, there was a second bedroom in there. That place was gold.
Although after that scene, I was surprised and dismayed when Killmonger ordered that they destroy all of the magic purple flowers.
I'm not gonna lie. I was half expecting the soul gem to pop out underneath the flowers, because like we still haven't seen that.
Wait, which one's the soul one?
Isn't it?
That was in the first Guardians.
No, it wasn't. That's a power gem.
They the movies has switched the colors around.
Oh. Okay, let me see this real
So
quick.
that kind of made
Well, we know there's a purple and a blue one and a yellow one.
Yeah, we know.
And then
and a red and a green one.
yeah.
But that made me sad that there aren't going to be any more of these flowers for any future generations.
I'm sure they'll be back.
But they were all destroyed.
So-
Deus ex machina.
Of course.
It is comic books at the end of the day.
You know, just like they
So-
gotta like keep some of the seeds when they mash it up, or like, you know.
So you're saying Scarlet Witch is going to come and alter
Yeah.
reality
Yeah,
and
I know my shit, man.
and bring them back.
Sure, or like
into
Wolverine,
existence.
or like Hugh Jackman will show up and just like spit, or he'll just like cough one up and be like, "Oh, what was this doing in my lung?"
Actually, Wolverine does have an Infinity Stone now in the comics, so who
Yeah,
knows?
does he have the blue one?
He does have the blue one, the space gem.
See, he'll show up and he'll shit one out. It'll be fine, and
That'd be
it's
Ryan
Wolverine.
Reynolds.
It'll be Wolverine
Yes.
shit, so it's great fertilizer.
Well, Josh Brolin is playing Cable and Thanos, so
Well,
in the same year.
Wait, really?
Yes.
yeah, he's Cable in Deadpool 2, and he's Thanos in Infinity War.
All right.
So we'll see how that goes.
Anyway, yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess you guys got anything else you want to talk about, or you're just gonna go to final thoughts?
I think we pretty much covered all the main ground.
All right.
I think so.
Does anyone want to talk about the Venom trailer?
I didn't get the trailer.
I
You guys didn't get the Venom trailer?
No.
I've
No,
seen it, but we didn't get it in theaters. We got
We got Pacific Rim 2.
Avengers: Infinity War, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, and Tomb Raider.
I didn't see the Fallen Kingdom trailer. Which one was that one?
It's the one where it's like, oh, we gotta go back to help the dinosaurs, and I had this argument.
Oh, fuck that movie.
And then I had this argument with you about how useless the hamster ball ride is.
Well, that was my argument so much
Yeah.
as you ranted, and I said, okay.
I'm still curious just because it's got the director of When a Monster Calls, or A Monster Calls.
Which is a totally different. This is about as far away from that movie as you can get. But like, I do not have hype.
I mean,
Mostly, I think the concept is fucking stupid.
I've made
Yeah.
it previously known that as far as Pacific Rim goes, that movie can die in a fire. However, Pacific Rim 2 doesn't look as bad.
My issue with Pacific Rim 2, at least my worry for that movie, is it does like a little more Power Rangey. And
Oh,
that-
you mean the robots last more than one hit?
No, it's more like they don't feel like they weigh as much, which is something I like about the
Maybe
first
it's
thing.
because they're analog.
No, they're all digital now.
Okay.
But hey, yeah. So does anyone else think the Venom movie looks like it's gonna fucking blow?
I didn't even know there was a Venom movie.
I haven't seen
double-
the trailers, so I can't speak to that.
I double checked who was working on it. I noticed like we got the director of was it Ruben Flesher whose only good movie so far I can remember is Zombieland, and they did Gangster Squad and was it 40 Minutes or Less or an American Ultra.
Oh, Gangsters.
Let me double check who the
From
writer was.
season 1.
Well, as long as you, I don't know, whatever.
It's like oh fuck! Like I think it was the one joke I saw that was like Spider-Man was like making fun of Sony at this point, or said like, wait, Sony's still making Spider-Man? Like, how can you make a Venom movie without Spider-Man? It's like, I don't know. Sony's like one of those studios that thinks it's a movie studio, but really isn't. So you just kind of act nice about it, like, oh, you're making a Venom movie? Oh, that's great. Here, have a Jello.
Oh, what about
I didn't
that?
get
Don't you know?
And until like Disney buys them too.
I wouldn't put it past them.
At this point.
Yeah. I didn't get the Venom trailer. I got the Jurassic World sequel. I got the Infinity War
Yeah.
trailer and some other trailers I don't remember.
Oh yeah, that's why I wasn't too keen.
Oh, Painting Game.
Kangaroo Jack.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Now, to be fair, they did work on one of the guys did work on High Fidelity and apparently the first Spider-Man.
I did get a trailer
Jumanji.
for
I suffer a little children.
for an old guy basketball movie that I thought looked stupid.
Oh,
I don't remember the name.
I mean, old guy basketball.
Oh
movie
no!
Sounds way more interesting than manipulative high school volleyball girl movie.
Hold on.
Fair
Let's go proceed.
So other screenwriter.
For
Because
Venom.
unfortunately, there's like 4 different writers on Venom.
Oh, great.
Sorry, 3 writers. I
That's
guess.
always a good sign.
2 of them have been fired.
So first movie, Amazing Spider-Man 2. 5th Wave. Oh no. The Dark Tower. Oh no.
That's not good.
That bad.
The fact that you just said the word "that bad" in quote in supposed air quotes means it was pretty bad.
Point taken.
It was a pretty not too good movie.
All right, so let's wrap this up. So, final thoughts, ladies and gentlemen.
Fun.
Yeah. Like I said, I felt
It's fun and it looks cool and it made my friend and I watching it wish that Wakanda was a real place that we could visit.
Proceed.
I mostly enjoyed it. I'm not like saying I hate Michael B. Panther. He was fine, I guess. I just think that it's not up to my standard.
it was the way he did the bravado.
No, it's not even
I
that.
don't think
There was just something
No,
about
that
it that I didn't like, and I can't. I'll like have it like later.
Yeah.
I'll have the exact phrasing later, but right now I can't think of it. There's just something that just didn't
So I
resonate
assume
with
you just
me.
didn't like his bravado, the way he did the bravado and swagger.
No, that's absolutely something that like basically abandoned, orphaned, psychologically damaged child would do when he like it's like you come in after years later and you have to put on this strong face because you've dealt with so much adversity with your life, right? So it's just I didn't mind that, but there was just something about there was just something about it that I didn't like.
I liked it a lot. Like I said, I felt like there's something kind of strange about the pacing in the beginning, partially due to like some of the slower fights, and then other things where you could arguably get rid of them. Like I said, you could have just killed Claw to begin with, but
Yes.
you gave the reason that that makes
yeah.
sense.
But he was entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
That
Oh,
was
fuck yeah.
great. Yeah.
You didn't need Martin Freeman in there.
I thought he was fine.
Oh,
He
he's
did
fine.
not do 1 barrel roll. 0 out of 10 stars.
But once it gets to the second half, though, I felt like almost everything moved perfectly. The pacing, the development, like really kind of went up high. Like you got to really kind of explore these characters even more, like to get their cores. Like I said, I had some issues with some of the CG, but
See, I'm actually the opposite. I think the first half for me worked better than the second half.
He's like a Kamen Rider villain.
What?
Sorry, never mind.
explain.
I watch a lot of Kamen Rider, but anyway, I'll talk about it later.
Okay, but yeah, like for the most part, like I really.
Well, it would be otaku. This is what you. Yeah.
But for the most part, I enjoy
Nerd. Anyway, sorry.
Racist. That's how we're gonna end.
Not like I have to worry about this video game flagged anymore.
Oh, that's right, because
Yeah, the whole YouTube monetization bullshit. Right?
yeah.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
Yeah. So apparently, I like this movie the most. It would
Yeah.
seem. I give it a shit ton of credit for its ambition, for what it was trying to do, and I think it's a very promising direction in where Marvel is going,
Yeah.
and it makes me really excited to see what we can do from here on out.
Same here.
So that's what I feel about this movie.
From what I heard, they're probably. I think they got him back. They confirmed he's gonna be back for the second one.
I mean, they're already commissioning a second film.
Yeah.
So that's like not even a question at this point. This movie was a massive, massive success, and thank God.
Yes.
Thank God.
I'm very glad.
It's kind of like same reason, like
More successful than Peter Rabbit. Let's say.
well, that's not
Or-
hard to do.
Or 50 Shades Freed.
You know, yeah. It's more like I compare like with Wonder Woman, which is like culture significant movies that I'm so glad succeeded. Because it means we'll get more stuff like this, and it means Hollywood's at a point where it's like, okay, we can finally start taking more risks.
It's nice to see a smarter superhero flick.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and not to mention, Marvel's finally getting good villains again,
Yes.
which I appreciate. This is like their fourth in a row. That's actually pretty good. Between Ego, Hela was pretty fun.
Yes.
The Vulture, and now
Killmonger.
Killmonger.
Yeah.
Michael B. Panther.
I'm calling him Killmonger. I'm okay with Daddy Panther. I'm okay with Uncle Panther. I'm gonna stick with Killmonger on this one.
Michael B. Panther.
This
Fine,
is
whatever.
Panther beat Jordan.
This
I
is
might be okay with that
the third film that this director has made, and he must really like Michael B. Jordan because he's cast him in all three.
Yeah.
Because he's a great actor.
He is a great actor, and
Despite what you think, Ron.
and I really like him. I think he's incredibly talented and charismatic. I'm not complaining about that. It's just an observation.
I've loved Michael B. Jordan since Parenthood. So
I really.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't he also in
he was
The Wire?
I don't know if he was in The Wire. I never saw The Wire.
Never saw The Wire.
I liked him since Chronicle.
Yeah, he left Parenthood to do Chronicle. And then he's been yeah, and he's been doing good ever since. So I know Fan Four stick aside, which nobody came out of that clean. Nobody. I like that's like it's like I don't blame anyone because I've seen Von Doom in that movie go on to make some pretty good movies. So and TV shows for that matter.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of great stuff. I mean, like he was in the other Planet of the Apes movies before that.
That's right. He was Kobu.
Yeah.
Koba. Sorry, Koba.
I can't remember. Yeah, Kobe.
Kobu's a totally different movie. Also with a talking monkey.
You're thinking of Kubo.
Yeah. No. Koba. You know the
Yeah. No, I'm saying the movie was called
You saw the
Kubo.
movie with you saw the plane. We made you watch them. You know, he was the one with the scar over his eye.
Yeah, Koba.
Yeah, Koba. Yeah. He
I was saying
was played by Victor Von Doom in the Fan Four Stick movie.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But I meant like the movie you're thinking of was Kubo.
Yeah.
Oh man, I like lost a little bit of respect for that character.
So
we had a great cast that just.
Alright, so there's only one way to end this video. Racist.
anywho, so we still gotta go see Early Man or Samson, whatever we get to first. Really.
I'm curious about Early Man just because like I'm a huge animation freak.
I mean, like the only way I could like hype up my next review that would eventually come would be like every 10 subscribers plus. No, okay, that would kill me. Every 20 subscribers past 500, I'll have a shot for Sherlock Gnomes.
You were gonna get plastered anyway.
Yeah, but this will be an excuse for me to buy alcohol. And I'm promoting the stream via alcohol.
They have alcohol at the theater these days, you know.
Yeah, but it's overpriced.
Actually, it's about the same.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
at a regular bar.
Isn't alcohol overpriced in general?
Well,
Unless
I
it's
was,
Zima
I was
or
just gonna
Coors.
go. I was
Okay.
just gonna go to the.
Okay, well, Coors is not
Sorry,
beer.
Pat.
That is piss water with a little bit of alcohol.
So I'm thinking
Yeah.
Blue Ribbon.
That's also piss water with a little bit of alcohol.
That's elephant piss.
That's
Hence why they are overpriced.
that's
Yeah.
that's
Anyway.
blue is like piss water with alcohol flavoring.
I drink Pabst Blue Ribbon and I'm white trash.
Then what comes out this weekend? I think Game Night, which actually is pretty good.
Yeah.
Really?
No, it's like when we saw the
Has-
trailer, it's like
I hate the trailer for that. That's actually another trailer that I got for
I
my
thought
screening of Black
and
Panther.
Annihilation. Both are getting pretty good reviews.
Skull Bear.
Annihilation.
Skull Bear. Yeah,
Annihilation,
the Skull
I'm
Bear
not
movie.
surprised. Annihilation, I'm not surprised because isn't that Alex Garland?
I think so.
Yep.
Anyway, so we'll check those out weekend. And apparently Jasmine has now agreed to go see the Christian movies, or at least one of them. So
She'll regret it soon.
she will. It's Grant, you gonna be there?
Yes, I
You want to
am.
go see Samson on Monday?
Oh, if I get Jasmine to go with me, I will totally.
All right. every 20 subscribers after 500 is a shot.
No, you really gonna be like, for every 20 subscribers, we will go watch a Christian movie from last year. Because apparently there are some awful ones that we didn't go see.
I'm not watching The Star ever again.
Well, like, no, there's worse ones than that. You should look up Voiceless. That one's fucking awful.
All right. Anyway, that's
That one's about abortion. On that note, good night, everybody.
Good night.
That's how you end a fucking video. Racist!